Going to catch up with Peter Gamble from Silent Running in a wee minute. First up, let's have a snatch of this one. Beyond Your Wildest Dreams.
Well, there's a song in my head. It's playing the soundtrack of my life. Well, there's a song in my head spinning around tonight. 'Cause life's an ultimate game, one breath and you start. You need a devil-proof soul and a bulletproof heart. There's a song in my head spinning around tonight. So run, baby, let's run. Baby, run away with me. Let's run till we touch the stars, cross the seven seas, beyond your wildest dreams. Beyond your wildest dreams.
Silent Running, Beyond Your Wildest Dreams. Peter is on the phone. Peter, how you doing?
I'm very well, Johnny. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, listen, good to see you're still doing it. Your age, you know. No. Listen, are you enjoying it more this time around?
I think, to be honest with you, it's maybe it's more fun, you know. I mean, we principally thought about coming back to do it for the crack, and we'll be doing everything ourselves. So we're producing the album ourselves and just organising it ourselves through social media. It's a lot easier now, but I think we are enjoying it more. I think when you are a bit older, you appreciate things more, like everything in life. And yeah, it's been great crack.
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, the reason I ask, I've spoken to a few people in your position, and they said basically the initial success years ago when they were younger, it kind of flew by and they didn't really appreciate what they were doing. You know, was that the case with you, do you think?
I always appreciated the opportunity, but I think when you're young and thrown into that environment, it's not an easy thing to deal with. So you tend to make mistakes, and sometimes you don't realise when you're doing something how lucky you are to do it. And also, your record deals and all that sort of stuff, you kind of direct it a bit more. So, as I say, this time around, because we're doing this, it feels like more fun. But I did really appreciate it, to be honest. I mean, the travel and the studios and touring the bands and all was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, at one stage, not even one stage, it was a stage that lasted for quite a while. You were named in the same breath as Simple Minds and U2 and everything else. Did it ever eat away at you in the intervening years that it just didn't happen that massively?
Well, I think we had a good run and we all enjoyed it. But yes, you always wish you had more success. I mean, that was one of the reasons that we thought, well, we've had a good run. Let's give it a rest now. But there's a lot of luck involved, Johnny, as you know.
Oh, listen, it's all luck.
You've been in the business too. There's not a lot of luck involved, and sometimes it just doesn't fall for you the way you think it will. But we still had incredible experiences.
Yeah, no, well, that's the healthy way to look at it, you know, because if you dwell on it, it could maybe just eat you up, basically, you know.
Well, I found after a little bit of time, when you had a bit of distance, that I just thought, how lucky am I, you know? How lucky was I to tour around the world and make records and be on TV and all that. It was fantastic.
Yeah, what about, what do your families all think of you having another dig at it?
I think my kids thought it was hilarious initially.
Yeah.
But one of the nice things about playing now at this age is they can come along and see their old man making a fool of himself. So I think, to be honest, they probably thought it was a bit unusual. But I mean, the material and the stuff we've done and the shows we've done have been so far beyond our expectations that I think everybody's enjoyed it. I mean, we only got back into this, as I say, for a bit of crack, and then when we decided to do a show, we were astonished to have people flying over from Scotland and England and people from way back when.
I was going to say that too. I mean, I've been taking a look at your Facebook. I mean, I've kept on, looking at it over the last couple of years. You've got really, I'm going to say, madmen and madwomen that follow you from all over the world and make sure they're going to be in Belfast for gigs. I mean, that's incredible.
It is. Well, there's nobody more surprised than us. I mean, we're selling CDs all over the world, but actually for the gig on Friday night, not only have we got people coming from Ireland, Scotland and England, we've got people coming from Germany, and people come from Italy, and one brave man is travelling from Dubai.
Dear me.
So,
actually, here, a nice touch.
to see-
Sorry, you'll not see this with many bands. I saw Richard, your bass player, basically saying, if anybody's coming over, I'll meet you all for lunch. And they're all on Facebook saying, "We'll meet you here, meet you there," which was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. You know,
one of the nice things about it has been that a lot of the fans, because they've all been thrown in together, have made friends.
Yeah.
And through the Facebook group, so you have a whole. Not only are they coming to see the band, they all like hanging out together now, and we like to show our appreciation for the effort people make to come to the shows.
It is terrific. I have to mention my neighbour, Martin Tolan, because he's a fanatic. Oh, dear me. Every time I meet him, he's talking about Silent Running, so you probably know him if he's listening.
Oh, I know Martin well, yeah. He's one of the old faithful. One of the Lost Boys, as we call them. Yeah. Know Martin well.
So listen, with new material and all you've written in recent times, I mean, your new album and all, Follow the Light, what are you going to squeeze into the set on Friday? How do you choose what gets in?
Well, we've diplomatically tried to pick what we think are the fans' old favourites, and then we're going to play 9 new ones.
Right, okay.
Well, a couple of them were played before, but 9 off the album.
Yeah.
But a lot of the people that are coming have already got the album, and it seems to have been very well received.
Just
so
tell me, listen, is No Faith is Blind in the set?
100%.
Oh, right, okay. Well, that's my wee song. That's my favourite of yours, you know.
There's one of the guys come from England that loves that song, and I wouldn't be brave enough not to play it with him being there.
So tell us about the gig. It's in Voodoo. There are a couple of tickets left. I mean, there's not a load of tickets left at all.
There's a few tickets left, yeah. We had to cancel them through COVID, like everybody did. So it's the first sort of venture back out again after all that. And the tickets are so well, and we're absolutely astonished where people are coming from. But there's a few left if anybody wants to come along.
Yeah, it should be great. And you're raising money as well for the Red Cross Ukrainian appeal, isn't that right?
Yeah. So the song you played a snippet of there is we put that out as a single. And then because all of the events in Ukraine that kicked off, we just thought, look, is there anything we can do? So we had another song on the album called Darkest Hour, which isn't political in any way, but we thought the tone of it, I suppose, and the title would maybe suit. So we basically teamed up with the Red Cross, and that song is available to download through Bandcamp. And all the money raised were given to the British Red Cross for their Ukrainian appeal.
Well, that's brilliant. Very admirable of you. So, I mean...
I think on Friday night we're doing something as well at the gig that you probably know about to try and raise a few quid as well. That's
right. I'll be there. It's not that I'm running around with a bucket, but it will be similar, you know, to collect money. So, I mean, do you get nervous? I mean, it's a gig, Voodoo. It's going to be stuffed. I mean, do you get a bit nervous?
Ish. I mean, I wouldn't say I don't get nervous because I've done it thousands of times. It's the atmosphere in Voodoo is kind of like a party, to be honest, and you get a wee bit apprehensive, but probably more nervous about doing interviews and stuff because it's easier to stand on stage and play.
Yeah, I suppose so.
A wee bit. The first one we were a bit nervous, and I think this one, to be honest, we're probably a little bit more nervous because we're playing a load of new stuff which we haven't done before.
Yeah.
So lots of more words to remember, Johnny.
That's it. Is that a dig at me? I'm famous for not remembering words. It's terrible.
No, I didn't know you were. But
desperate.
Absolutely. I hope I don't join you on Friday night.
Desperate. I mean, for pranks, I would have bits of paper, A4 sheets with lyrics written down, and the band will sort of hide them and all for the crack. And I'm looking around going, please help.
You appreciate how difficult it is then?
It is. Of course it is. People underestimate that. Well, listen, Peter, thanks for taking the time to speak to us. I'll see you down the front on Friday, okay?
Great, mate. Thanks a million for having me on. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Peter. Good luck, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Peter Gamble from Silent Running. Voodoo on Friday. The latest album is called Follow the Light. And here's one for you. Darkest Hour.
Darkest hour, black as night. Only 20,000 more until the morning light. Falling down, can't stop from falling down. I just need to get my feet back onto solid ground.
Silent Running for me, one of the best bands we've ever produced. Don't forget, a couple of tickets left for the big gig in Voodoo on Friday. And that single, Darkest Hours, available for download, and the proceeds going to help the Red Cross with their efforts in Ukraine. Once again, thanks to Peter for joining us.